What's up, my friends? It's C-Threep. Today I got a tip for you that should hopefully save you a bit of headache as you're recording your music. And it's something that maybe you've never thought to do. Maybe you've never been in a professional recording studio and heard about this, or you haven't seen the right tutorial yet that has brought this up. But it's a pretty simple tip that can really help you get off on the right foot as you start recording a song. And that is to record what's called a scratch track as essentially the very first thing that you record in the song recording process. What is a scratch track? It's exactly that. It's a track, it's a recording that eventually you're going to scratch or get rid of. But for now, it's something that helps you have a frame of reference as you go about recording all the other instruments in the song. So a typical scratch track would be like an acoustic guitar with the singer singing to the metronome, so it's all in time for the duration of the song. That way, when the drummer then goes to record the drummer's part, instead of him or her just having to play the drums to the click of a metronome with nothing else in the background, that's kind of hard if you don't know the song super well, or maybe you do, but it requires so much thought to remember where you're at in the song sometimes. It's helpful to have that scratch track playing in the background in addition to that metronome. So you have a frame of reference, you understand where you are in the song, knowing that down the road, you're just going to toss that original recording of the guitar player playing the guitar while the singer sings, just kind of a rough take of the song. So the scratch track doesn't have to be anything super special. You do want to try to play it as in time with the metronome as you can, so that it helps the rest of the band as they layer their parts on top of it down the road as they record their parts piece by piece, so that they can play well and in time. But it doesn't have to be super good recording quality. It might just be the mic that you have handy. You set it up on a desk and you play. You're not putting the microphone necessarily in the best position. It can be kind of rough. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I took about 10 seconds, picked up a guitar, and just made up a song on the spot. Just made up something and decided I was just going to run with it. So, dude, I love my kids. So this song is not anything special, but this is just to demonstrate kind of the process you would go through to record a song. And I'll be using a really rough, stupid scratch track initially, and then we'll record drums and bass and kind of layer it on from there. After you've recorded the few other fundamental instruments of the song, like the bass and the drums, you might be done with the scratch track. Maybe you don't need it anymore. There's no specific rule of what you should do with it. Just use it as a reference, and once it becomes kind of useless, you can stop using it. Pretty simple concept. You can make scratch tracks in the middle of the recording process as well. I've done this before where I had the vocal part that I was recording done on a piano first, so that when I was singing the vocal part, I could hit the notes better by having something to reference as I was doing that. Something to bear in mind is with this scratch track, you are going to want to keep that metronome going on in the background of all your recordings as well. That scratch track's just kind of there as a little background noise to help you reference where you are. The problem is if you have the scratch track volume too high and the metronome volume too low, when you're recording your other parts, you're going to be referencing that scratch track so much that you might not be playing in time with the metronome. So don't let that get in the way. Unless whoever did the scratch track was like flawless and on time, then great. But usually you just want it more of a frame of reference kind of quietly in the background, while the metronome is the more prominent thing that you're playing to as you're doing your bass guitar or whatever else it is. And that's it.